Okay, so Monday in class, when we were looking at some stuff in Unity and the looking at cinemachine in particular, there was a slight issue. It wasn't working like I'm used to, and I couldn't figure out what was going wrong with it. Spent a couple minutes, didn't want to waste all our class time. Usually, it's very easy, and I figured out what had went wrong is apparently I just did something in a different order than I normally do, and it caused problems. So just a reminder, we brought in the virtual machine and it wouldn't work to zoom in or anything. It stayed zoomed out. We could zoom out. The camera was allowing us to zoom out on the aspect ratio, but couldn't set that to zoom in on anything. We went to the camera and tried to resize it. The scale features just aren't working. They're not going in, but it would scale out. Uh, change the size, and it wasn't working like normal. And I realized what had happened is I just did it in a different order than I normally do. Um, so normally I fix the camera and then add the virtual machine, and in class that just wasn't happening. So to fix that issue, the camera needs set up before adding the virtual machine. So I'm going to delete that virtual camera and just grab these scale features and kind of scale down to a small spot on the screen, something like that. So we don't necessarily need to see the whole thing. And if we preview that view now, hopefully it won't take too long here. There we go. So kind of what we saw to begin with, only the camera zoomed in. So to do that, just select the main camera in the hierarchy and you'll see the little handles to drag and resize that. It keeps the aspect ratio, so you only need to grab one or the other, the top or the side. And then once you get to the size you want, then bring in the cinemachine menu and create a virtual camera. And this was fixing that issue. And apparently that's just a different order than I normally do that in. And I didn't think anything about it at the time, but apparently that makes a difference. So make sure your actual main camera is set up before doing that. Well, we can see it's zoomed in now. I forgot to do the follow. And then the character we want to follow and look at, remember to drag up, select the right thing. There we go. And drag the game object we want to follow and look at over here so we get all these options. And then the game window guide, when we preview it, we can see those buffer zones and things like that. We were looking at slow down the speed it follows a little maybe, or adjust the size of it, where it's located. Really useful when it's the sort of the dead zone area where the camera won't follow until we get past that. So that now if we run this, now the dead zone is kind of nice because then the camera doesn't follow and we have an area in the middle of the screen where we don't have to worry about the camera following us. And you can see the damping slows it down so that it's not, the camera doesn't jerk around as quickly as the character. And for some reason, this also fixed the end. I have no idea what was going on there. Somehow that's related to the camera, that when we got to the end, it just squished the background instead of continuing to move. But the cinemachine camera should make everything a lot easier. And apparently I just did that in a different order than I normally do. And once you have those dead zones and soft zones and all of that set up, the dampening, get the camera like you want it, then just uncheck this game window guide to turn off those lines. So apparently I've just always done it in that order and didn't realize that I was doing it differently yesterday. So delete the virtual camera if you were having the same problems and go to the main camera and adjust the size there, and then create the virtual camera. And that should be very, very easy to use after that. Just wanted to make a quick video fixing that problem. I will mention it again in class tomorrow, which is Wednesday, if you don't see the video till after then. See you. Oh, where's the stop recording button? Oh. See you tomorrow.